Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the media. I know that you've been trying to get to speak to us for the better part of maybe an hour or so, because you heard that Marine reports were here having a meeting, and as a result of that, no boats were, or no ferries were running. Let me say that the division met night before last, which was Tuesday. They had a discussion about the whole challenge of the government making a decision to bring in a ship to assist with the schedule, with the summer schedule, and the ship being the Millennium. The division on Tuesday night were very concerned that this has taken place, recognizing that we, meaning the BIU, had asked the management team. The divisional officers also tried to get some answers from the management team. And prior to the meeting that we had on Tuesday night, we got no answers. So on Tuesday night, the division decided that what we need to do is to send a clear message to management that the disrespect of the division should not be tolerated. So they were looking to don tools yesterday morning. As you know, they didn't don tools yesterday morning. I was in the meeting with them on Tuesday night along with the General Secretary and the Chief Organizer. So I convinced them to give, at least to give the Minister and the Ministry of Transport at least 24 hours notice as to what their intentions are going to be. Because we wanted to get some clarification about the decision, why the decision was made without consultation with the BIU. So the members on Tuesday night made the decision that they'll give the Minister 24 hours and give the Ministry 24 hours to get back and get us some clarification as to why this decision was made. So I can tell you that a letter, an email first of all, was sent to the Minister 9:30 yesterday morning, the Honorable Minister Sean Crockett, Minister of Transport. And it was also copied to the Minister of Home Affairs, the Honorable Michael Fay. I can tell you to date, which is right now 2:15 in the afternoon of the 14th, I have not, as the President of the BIU, heard from either minister on the letter that I sent yesterday morning by email, and they got a hard copy 4:15 yesterday afternoon. I have not heard from either minister. I think it's very disrespectful to the BIU that we've sent a letter to a minister of this country and he has not seen fit to even pick up the telephone or send an email say, Mr. Ferbert, I acknowledge I got your letter and my technical staff is dealing with it. Totally disrespectful. So I can tell you that I spoke with the divisional president, who's on my right-hand side, who says he spoke to the acting director this morning and he has a response to Mr. Ferbert's letter. And I found that very interesting because the copy of a letter that's supposed to be sent to me, or I'm supposed to get a copy of it, I had not seen it. This letter that I speak about is from the acting director, Scott Simmons, and the letter is sent to the acting PS, Mr. Francis Richardson. So the letter is not sent to me. So I still not had an official response from the minister or from the ministry about the letter that we sent to them yesterday concerned about this whole question about them deciding to bring this boat into Bermuda over the next 2 months. And the reason why this letter was sent was mainly in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement, particularly Article 21, redundancy pay, paragraph 4 says, and let me just quote what it says. Prior to making a decision to privatize a specific government function or activity, the government shall give the union 60 days written notice of its intentions. And listen to the very next 5 words because they're very critical to this process. And confer with the union forthwith for the purpose of seeking an agreement. That has not happened. So when the minister was on Gino Spence's show last week, and this is Minister Sean Crockett, he made the announcement that the ship is coming, and the president of the division heard him make that statement. And it's very concerning to us because the BIU has not been consulted, so we are very concerned about this process. We sent a letter yesterday giving them 24 hours to sit down and have some dialogue with us about it, and to date we have heard absolutely nothing aside from this from Mr. Scott Simmons, which was sent to the acting permanent secretary.
What are the options that are facing you at the moment?
Well, I think the options that are facing us at the moment is that, provided that we can sit down and would have had proper dialogue, because I want to also clarify something for the general public, because there's a perception out there that this was a done deal under the previous government. Let me just be clear, that's not the case. I have spoken to the two previous ministers who were ministers of transport, and my understanding from the two of them is that nothing was agreed to as to this vessel coming to provide this service for 2013 summer schedule. Nothing, was no agreement. So the agreement was only made since the OBA has taken power as of December 17, 2012.
Tell me more about the Millennium, if you will. It will be staffed by others than local crew?
You want to take that one? Yeah.
That's the only information that we have, and it's not concrete evidence, is that it will be coming with a pilot owner, an engineer, possibly crew. But these things are not definite and haven't been put in concrete as yet.
And this is about to take the place of...
Takes the place of the work that we normally do, running to St. George's on a summerly basis.
Because the other boats aren't doing what they were meant to do.
Some of the boats are not ready to do so. Put it to you that way.
It's a solution to the problem, but it's not a satisfactory solution as far as the unit.
No, it's not a solution to the problem. We also, when you think about it, we have 6 ferries. The capacity that these ferries can take, if we had all ferries running, we would do more than what we have done in the past 3 years. But in the past 3 years, we have been running inefficiently, and hence why we had some of the problems that we do. And most of them are management issues that hasn't been resolved. We all know it starts from the top in order to get the things done. So that's where we stand today.
Does the union have a solution of its own that it would like to be considered?
Us as union, us as workers, we have plenty of solutions. We've put forth to management at any given time and from time to time. But they don't listen to us as out on the floor. They have the expertise as far as they're concerned to do so, and that's what they do.
Father Chris.
Yes.
I've asked you this before in past years. We are not dealing with an inexperienced minister. These men have been parliamentarians under various circumstances.
Yes.
Are we back to the issue of union busting?
Well, let me say that, whilst I don't want to put that clarification on union busting, one has to ask themselves, the question is that if you have the general president of an organization sending a letter to a minister, first of all, sending an email to the minister, following up by a letter the same day, that common courtesy, it certainly would have been common courtesy under the OBA government, under Quentin Edmonds as the labor minister, or Jack Sharp as the labor minister, to respond to Brother Ottawell Simmons. Brother Oddie, got your letter. Just want to let you know that I will be having a meeting with you very shortly under the PLP, what happened. So I am very concerned that people want the BIU to treat the OBA government with the utmost respect. But first of all, respect has to be earned. And they are not starting off on good tenure as it relates to respect, right? The mere fact that the general president, and it doesn't matter whether it's Chris Ferbert or Sinclair or Samuels, the mere fact the general president of an organization sent you a letter, as a minister, you are obligated to respond. You want to just send a quick email, got your letter, my technical team will be getting back with you shortly, then fine. But the mere fact that we have no response, almost 36 hours later in this event, the question needs to be asked as to what's this all about. The OBA promised to be transparent, they promised to have consultation, and here we are now, have a classic example of no consultation law taking place, because you have the minister having a letter in his hand. Even the Minister of Home Affairs has the exact same letter. Neither one of those two ministers have reached out to the leadership of the BIU and say, we understand your concern and we'll be addressing it. Utterly disrespectful, as I said to you a few moments ago. You want to classify as union busting? That might be your definition. Other people might classify it as that. What I'm saying to you is that respect needs to be shown to this organization.
And the union, the public, once again, are those that suffer.
Well, Mr. Darby, let me just say this to you, and we had that conversation on Tuesday night, right? I put that in my letter to the minister and I sent it to him, right? Because the workers wanted to don tools on Tuesday night, not even go to work on Wednesday morning. We've already notified the public. I convinced him, let's give the government 24 hours to sort this matter out. And look what they done after 24 hours. They just took it and just say, you know what? Totally disrespect the division, totally disrespect the BIU, say, you know what, we're not doing anything. Hands off. So you draw your conclusions, let the public draw their conclusions as to what the OBA government is all about.
and if I may just reiterate on that, the ridership of the ferries, I can almost say that, and most of us that work on a day-to-day basis, I would say the ridership of the ferries is basically on our side. Maybe the general public may not know what's going on, but the person that ride those ferries, they know what's going on.
And where do we go from here? So you're waiting to talk?
Well, my understanding, just from the president a couple minutes ago, is that the acting director is on his way here as we speak to have a conversation with the workers and hopefully give some clarification on this issue, because whilst he has sent a letter to the PS, the acting PS, trying to clarify certain matters, dotting the I's and crossing the T's is very important from our perspective, because this is very contradictory. We had the minister of the country saying that the millennium is coming. We have the acting director of Marine and Port saying that the proposal to charter a ferry for 2013 season has yet to be finalized. So who needs to be clarified here? Because the department's saying one thing and the minister's saying something else. So who's leading who?
Mr. Division President, you mentioned earlier that management hadn't put you in a position that the ferries could be working at full capacity. What does your membership make of this?
I'm sorry, repeat the question?
You said that the ministers haven't allowed you the parts and the maintenance schedule to operate the ferries at full schedule. What do your members make of this?
Basically, the members are in the trenches waiting to produce the work that they have been asked to do. When you look at it, sometimes the management will give an order that might be quite contradictory to what us as the workers on the ground know what should be done. And a lot of those decisions that were made has helped to put the ferry service back. That's the bottom line.
But does this lack of tools to work with put your members in a bad light with the public?
Definitely. Definitely. And if you remember my comments last time we were here, we said the same thing. It's not like anything has changed, and that's why we're here today. One of the reasons why we're here today.
Yes, sir.
Is there still a possibility that the Marine and Ports workers want you down? Is this going to be a downing of tools, or are we waiting and seeing?
Are they going to don tools? Well, they actually came here today at noontime, and they're burning since, and they said that until the minister, the PS, or the acting director comes and clarifies some matters for them, they're staying in this hole and they're not leaving. And that's very unfortunate, because there are issues, as I said to the minister in my letter that I sent to him yesterday, there are issues that go back about 2 years now that haven't been sorted out, and the department is well aware of these issues, right? My understanding from the president is that the minister, along with the PS, instructed the acting director to sit down and have some JCCs with the BIU. This was over a month ago. They haven't had not one meeting. So if I take Mr. Darby's point, to sit down to begin to address the issues that are facing the workers within the workplace, so we can provide that service, to the commuters, that's second to none. It's very unfortunate that management are supposed to manage, right? But the people that have the expertise in the workplace, I tell managers all the time, is the people that are in this very room. And I'm not just saying it because of my members. You got people that's worked there for a year, you got people that's worked for 10 years, you got people that's been there for 20 and 30 years. So they know about what happens within Marine and Ports. They have knowledge about what needs to happen. And you need to listen to them so that we can get, the service up to where it needs to be, so the standard is not being classified as, low or substandard. Any other questions? Thank you.